Welcome back in. About to get underway for the second half. We've got the Hornets sitting on a 12-4 lead. And it will be the Hornets to have first use of the football. So a high one out towards the corner. Well fielded by the Hornets, who get an offload away and start this one with some second phase, and already they're up over halfway, and now the fullback gets on a little charge looking for an offload, gets ragdolled to ground and taken into touch. Well recovered in the end by Richmond. In fact, no, they thought the touchies flag was up there, but play on has been the call, so confusion reigns here at Cornwall Park anyway. The important thing is the Hornets are on the ball and continue this attack. Centre field they come now via this super impressive 9, Anadu, who then hands off, and through the middle they come via the 7, Filipina Rhodes, who's had some classy touches. Anadu again on the ball. She's pulling all the strings right now.
Great run.
A third try coming up here, I think. Yes, it is. Casey Lotoal. 3 tries for the number 13. They break free down the right edge, and then they go for another one, just like that.
Farrelly photos in the action replay here. We see them shifting to the right. Meanwhile, in the background, they look like they were getting ready for a set play out on the left, and they were shaping up for it, but quite frankly, they didn't need it. As we can see, they had enough speed and power to get around the outside and pretty much clear sailing. Just a little bit of work there as the strapping wingers trying to hold it back. Did her best. Try time. Great camaraderie ship there. She got up. They gave each other high five. Wait for the big kick. And, well, she gets a point for hitting the SAS bolster and waved away.
Stick on the field.
Yeah.
And one of the Howick girls will go and fetch that. There you go. She's done it all today, has Casey. 3 tries, and helping out the refs there by removing the obstacle from the field as well. Back to it we go.
Good kick too. Going to put somebody under pressure over on that far side. Richmond on the settle. Oh, big run.
Strong carry through the middle of the park, and I think that's Alice Shannon again. Takes them up over halfway, and they come up to the left-hand side now. This is Rian Lamatoa. Takes 3 to bring her down, and then gets a quick play of the ball. Great skill there. Centre field they come. They work it through the hands of Vai. And then Tapu grabbing across field. So hard to contain. She's an elusive runner. Brilliant work from young Melita Tapu, the captain. To the right they come. Last play now. Tapu. Leilua crabbing across field, puts the fend on, but it's a brilliant tackle. Fruin, she was never going to lose that contest. Great work, and turns the ball over for the Howick Hornets.
A lot of confidence to shift it early.
Through the middle they come now, the Hornets. Helpers coming across, and eventually they take her down 10 short of halfway. Rush to dummy half, and then come back down the right-hand edge. Going to spot up a gap, and Lotoal goes into a gap, comes back towards the middle, and is wrestled to ground by Lexus Talau. Sorensen at dummy half. Jumps out.
Great step.
Puts a step on Tapu. Sorensen, she might go all the way here. Yes, she will. Braxton Sorensen jumps out of dummy half, puts the footwork on, And no mistake there, straight down and under the sticks.
We get to see the action replay sponsored by Farrelly Photos, and young Sorensen out of the dummy half. Look at the footwork. Good centre of gravity, stepped her clean, untouched. At that point, just gliding past the referee who steps out of the way and was on a clear sail right through to the SAS uprights.
She almost had to sidestep the referee that time as well. Yes, Jimmy found himself at the centre of the action.
And I'm sure that'll make Mum very happy.
Flags are up as well.
She kicked that.
She did. Well, at least the flags are up from our touchies. Although
Well, can run, score
there's
tries,
been a
and
couple
kick
of
goals,
false calls earlier. So Sorensen converts. The Hornets are now cruising at 22-4 and looking super impressive here.
They performed well at the Ladies' Day outing at Tahu earlier in the year as well, and I think they went through and won their section undefeated.
Yeah, they haven't lost a game this year, have they, this Howick team? And not hard to see why, really. Just a really good mix, I think, of some powerful ball carriers and just some really skillful smaller girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think, you alluded to it earlier, for both Richmond and the Howick Hornets, coaching's playing a big part in it, and they've certainly got enough in the skill set to keep defenders guessing as we kick off and trying to gather the ball. Nice little offload.
That was well done by Tapu that time. A difficult ball to handle, and then hands off to her 14, Rian Limatoa. It's been one of her best today, Melita Tapu, the daughter of Tasha Tapu. Kiwi Ferns great. Now Shannon breaks through the middle. The fend running. Sorensen's coming across and cover. Great covering tackle from Sorensen.
And tackles too, eh?
She is doing it all today. Tapu jumps out of dummy half now. Shannon got to a quick play, the ball, and the Richmond girls now rolling downfield. One of the Howick players has dropped down in back play, and that doesn't look good.
Looked like it might have been a knee.
There was no one around her at the time, and her teammates are signalling that it may be a knee issue, as Troy has pointed out. So never good when you see a player drop with no one around them like that. So we'll have a little break in play here.
They're on the roll. Hydration, very important. Magic water out again. And a big thank you to all the volunteers down here today. Without their work and support, a lot of what the Auckland Rugby League do just would not be possible, especially for Juanita Woodhouse. She needs as much help as she can get.
As she gives you a deathly stare that is quite terrifying across the
Juanita
tent.
Woodhouse is our special guest today in the live scoring office with her little highlighter pens. We get to talk about these fill-ins as the player receiving attention is just off screen. And the big match today, Corey. Well, it's probably after this match. So we get to see
I was just waiting for you to tell me what the big match was. But yes, Manukau taking on Glenora in the Farrelly Photos Women's Championship section. That's the second tier section. Really looking forward to this one. I know from doing the match reports each week that a couple of the Glenora players have really been standing out, and I think a couple of them have been selected in the sort of train-on squads for the national tournament as well. Of course, we had the big representative match last night, and well done to all of the Auckland girls selected for both New Zealand and Whetu Samoa last night. A big win for the Kiwi Ferns, and by all accounts, a good performance in their first game under Justin Morgan. And of course, Troy, we have a bit of an association with the Kiwi Ferns ourselves through our very own Andy Hay, who's one of the assistant coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Andy enjoyed himself being part of the squad and going through that as the build-up for the test match took part this weekend.
So Richmond back on the ball now. We are back to it, and our thoughts with the injured player. Tapu now, a looping ball over the top. There's space there, but Howick have scrambled across nicely, and the pass just took a little while to get there, which allowed Howick to recover as Tapu jumps out. A little bit of footwork now from Tapu, who tries to step her way through, finds an offload. Richmond throwing everything they've got at this right now. Facing a 22-4 deficit, they need to get going quickly, but held up as a call, and we'll go back and try again. So the Hornets now work it out. They are 20 off their own line right now and have just done everything right so far in this game as we see them put into a little gap here. Nice bit of second phase. Talenza Nelson now clear. Showing she's got some heels as well, but Tapu does brilliantly. Pulls her in by the jersey, gets her to ground and just manages to slow it down. Now they jump out via Lotual. Anadu, the dummy half. Shifts play on to Hedemaya Lemon to Nelson. Nelson gets her second. Talenza Nelson down the right-hand side. Referee points to the spot. A second try for her. Well-deserved as well. She's worked hard in this match. And after rolling through the middle of the park fairly easily, the Howick girls just pass, find the space. Nice touch in here again from Anadu. Ball out the back, and you can see there it sucked the winger in, and from there the basketball pass over the top to Nelson, who did well to finish under the presence of two defenders for another Hornets try.
And the kick's waved away. So we come back now, ready for the kickoff. Well, young girls decide to have a sit down.
It's a different kind of interchange when you just take a seat on the field, I guess.
Told the trainer she was tired.
And the trainer now making his way to the field. To be fair, she has scored 3 tries today. Casey Lotual has had a brilliant game. The trainer says you're not going anywhere, staying on the park. And the short kick, is it going to go? Just short. Good play, good idea. But just short, which will be a penalty on halfway. Richmond will tap and go via the 9 Finau. Good strong carry there. Looking to restore some pride on the scoreboard here, Richmond. Through the middle they work it with Shannon. She's been excellent today. And there's another good carry and an offload. Finau moves play on. They centralise now via Vai.
Good
Looping
hands.
ball out to the left-hand side, but great cover. Casey Lotual bundles her into touch. And as we approach the final 9 minutes here at Cornwall Park, this Hornets team really showing their class. Came into this one ranked second on the ladder. We mentioned before, yet to lose a game. And it's looking like they will keep that undefeated record intact. Moving it now out to the left-hand side. Got them stripped for numbers.
Bobbled it.
Speaking of strip, the ball comes loose. And Richmond ball.
Richmond will be looking to complete a set here, build a bit of pressure.
If you're wondering why the scrum looks a little lacking, this is nine-a-side rugby league, which means just 3 in the scrum. Literally just a
Great
front
dart.
row as Tapu jumps out. Got between 2 defenders, but well reeled in the end. Livasa Avuali involved in that one as well. Centre field now via Limatoa. Good strong carry from Limatoa. Still on her feet as well. Eventually wrestled to ground, and Howick do well to slow the play the ball that time. Talenza Nelson. Shannon bobbles it. manages to recover and then a little change of direction, slips just before the line, right in front of the SAS upright. Tapu is the dummy half, burrows over from close range. Was it bobbled? Yes, it was.
Oh, shame. She's worked hard all day today, that young lady.
And he may have got
Is that
the
a penalty?
marker not square here. Wait and see. Yeah, he has. Marker wasn't square. So we'll go again here for Richmond. 7 to play. Farrelly Photos Women in League Day, our first match of the day. It's loose, it's messy, and eventually it's cleaned up by Sorensen. Sorensen now the dummy half, comes centre field. They're going to move the ball, work it up through the middle of the park. Shannon leads the line and makes good first up contact to restrict any further movement there from the Howick ball carrier. They jump out now. There's gaps here if Howick can execute them. Sorensen, the step, the shimmy. Sorensen's still going. She's got options now on her left-hand side. Look at the footwork. Finau eventually arrives to wrestle Braxton to ground. They're 35 out from the line now, the Hornets. Looking to add to the 26 points they have amassed so far. Thompson has wrestled to ground. Sorensen again, the dummy half. And my apologies, it's Levasa Avuali, and she will go all the way out of dummy half. Runs it around, centres it, puts it down, and another 4 points for the Hornets.
Yeah, they certainly went the full length of the field there. And just waiting for the kick to come on the Farrelly Photos action replay. We see the little dart out from the dummy half, and just too much speed on at that point. I think they had the big roll on, and as you can see, a couple of Richmond players were looking to get back into the defence line, but to be fair, at that point in time, she was around behind the post. Great little team. Some great action.
Kick's good, flags up, and the Hornets stretch it to 32.
I'm just starting to feel the wind turn a wee bit. Hopefully the rain will hold off. There's another game on in the background. We might be able to try and get an update or a score on that. No, we won't. We won't try and do that at all. 18-0. Who to? Howick winning on the other field down there, Corey.
Good day at the office for the Hornets so far. Following on from their Fox team picking up the victory yesterday as well, and a bit of a thriller over Bay Roskill. Unfortunately for Bay Roskill, that result means they will drop down to the Crown Lift Trucks Fox Championship. Keep an eye on our website as well. We'll confirm our next live stream game now that the qualifiers have concluded. And at this stage, I think we'll be heading out to Felds Park. It's going to be
maybe not that great.
Called back there.
Apologies, Corey.
Oh, good, strong carry. Only one try to their name so far, Richmond. They deserve another one. They've worked really hard today. None more so than this girl. Tapu crabs across field. Comes centre field now. She knows there's a gap somewhere. Just needs to find it. Maybe she'll create her own. Lovely offload at the end of it as well. Vi now on the ball. Right side they come. Numbers here for Richmond. Vi the dummy half. Pass is bad. It's cleaned up. Play on is the call. And we'll go back for something in the lead up there. My apologies, I don't have the referee's audio in my ears, so not picking any of that up, but I think it's an issue with the restart of play there. Eventually we got there. Some of the Howick girls were trying to help out with some demonstrations on how to do it. Set heavy to the left now are Richmond. That's where they'll go. And then a change it up via the 17, Leilua. And they're not far from the line at all here. Shannon stationed on the right. Little Burrow, I think she got there. Clever little play from dummy half. And I believe it was Lake and Vite who just reached out. Had to have a couple of attempts at it, but the ball or elbow was never grounded, so there was no double movement. If we take a look on the replay here, she knew there were Howick bodies everywhere, and perhaps those dummy half markers wouldn't quite be up to it. And just reached out, sort of hit the foot at first, and then did well to hold on to it, and gets over for the try.
There's Wack for the kick to come. Good to see that they get another try on the board. Been working hard for it, Corey.
Yeah, they have. And although it's going to end up a fairly one-sided scoreboard, this Richmond team can hold their heads high. Some really good individual performances as well. But have come up against a classy Howick outfit today. The kick is short and score will remain 32-8. And we won't get too much more out of this match.
Well, I'm going to get ready, ladies and gentlemen, to try and catch up with Mike Farrelly. And hopefully we can catch up with the man who sponsors the Women in League and the Premiership for the Auckland Rugby League. And find out a wee bit about his history and how long his family's been involved in the game of rugby league. And I think he'd be second generation, Corey, as we get ready for the kickoff.
Siren goes, and last play of the game coming up. Let's see some hot potato footy here. Looping ball over the top. Infield they come. Here's an offload. Howick looking to put an exclamation mark on the victory. Lotoal breaks down the right-hand side. Charging away. The ball's tucked in behind, and that will end the game. Well done to the Howick Hornets. 32-8 winners over Richmond here in the opening live stream game of the 2019 Farrelly Photos Women in League Day. A short break for us before Troy catches up with Mike Farrelly, and we get ready to bring you Manukau vs Glenora in the Farrelly Photos Women's Championship.
Mr. Farrelly, your interview awaits. Sorry to interrupt.